Welcome to Souls on Tap. I'm Julianne Thon.
And I'm Jennifer Cross.
Today, we'd like to welcome once again Angie Bradley, who is a master of fire Reiki and is an apothecary for young living essential oils, which we're going to discuss today. Welcome back,
Welcome.
Angie.
Hi.
So great to
It's
have you
good to be
again.
back.
And you
I
look
missed you ladies.
missed you terribly, and lots been going on since we spoke to
Yeah.
you last, but I'm really excited to get into the essential oil journey because
Mhm.
I have loved it for years, and I know Jen, you have loved it for years.
Years.
So I really want to talk first of all about your origin story.
Mhm.
So can you tell us first of all how you were introduced to young living oils,
Yes,
and then how you began using them in your personal life, and of course, how you now integrate them into your work with others when you're doing Reiki.
I would love to. So I've used oils since probably 2010, 2011. That's when I came off of prescription medications and was getting clean. So I used just whatever I could find then. TJ Maxx, Target, like random different oils. I would buy them and use them. Well, fast forward to 2019, I met Dr. Marissa Bushimi, and she fast became one of my friends. She was like, "Oh, I have been in the pharmaceutical realm for all these years, but I kept getting in trouble because I kept trying to get people off prescription drugs and get them in a more holistic, low tox lifestyle." And she said, "So I started my own business." She came to work with me part time, just till her business got off the ground. And I fell in love with Young Living essential oils. So I had never realized that just because it said it was pure, that not all of them are really pure. Because to say it's pure, they only have to have 10% of the oil be the real essential oil in the bottle.
That's
So
crazy.
whenever she brought that to my attention, it started bringing me samples of the Young Living to try. Because I was like, oh, I'm always hesitant. I was like, oh, I'm fine with what I have right now. I'm good with what I have right now. But she brought me some blends or just some samples of the ones that I used on a daily basis. And the difference in the smell and the consistency in the effectiveness was absolutely mind blowing. I could tell a difference within 1 week of switching up. So that's
Wow.
when I completely started using 100% Young Living essential oils, started getting on the loyalty plan where I ordered every single month because lavender is one that's a daily for me. So I run out of that one every single day. Orange was a daily for me. I ran out of that one all the time. So, and even vanilla. And so those were the ones that I started out with as a naive user of essential oils at that time in my life. I was using what made me feel good. And I was applying it to my bath, to my skincare, to my Bath and Body Works lotions back then. Because you guys have to remember, I was a retail manager at Bath and Body Works. So I was just putting it in my shampoos, putting it in everything. And then I signed up to start selling them to get an even bigger discount. I didn't tell anybody that I sold them. I just did it for the discount. Well, this went on for probably 5 years, 4.5 years, until I started really moving out of retail and into the space of holistic healing. And that was, after losing William, I had always done healing sessions for like associates. We would go in the manager's office and I would close the door and I would be in there dousing them with a pendulum, moving energy off of them, trying to use essential oils on them to get rid of headaches. So I had been doing that for many, many years. So whenever I lost William and opened my own business is when I started using the essential oils and offering it to other people just kind of naturally. I would include it in my Reiki sessions. I would include it in my tarot reads or the angel card reads and the biofield tunings. And they would go, oh, I really like that scent. So I started giving little samples of it. And that's kind of how it started. just giving out little samples of it, not really telling a whole lot of people that I sold it because my primary thing was like, Reiki. And I realized that everybody can use it in different capacities. Even if you're practicing self unlove in the moment, when you're really going through the thick of it, if you diffuse oil, you're forcing yourself to feel better. The oil's doing the work for you, whether you realize it or not, because those endorphins are kicking in some capacity to make you feel better, whether you realize it or not. So just little practices like that, and then hearing feedback from some of my clients, like, oh, I've been using the frankincense for my son's acne and his skin looks so good. Or we've really been drinking the ninja every day and using it even after the gym, and our energy's gone up and we don't have that afternoon slump. And just hearing success stories like that makes me want to share it more with other people and not be as hesitant about it, because the value that it's brought into my life has exceeded
It's
the
important.
cost of the essential
Yeah.
oils. Because everybody's like, oh, well, the cost of. But
Mhm.
if you love that perfume at the fragrance store, you're going
Oh,
to spend almost
you're
two
going to
hundred
have to
dollars
pay. You
on
start at $100 and goes from there. I think I
it.
told you in my conversation that you and I had the other day when I was teaching middle school. It was one of the most difficult years of my
Yeah,
teaching career. And I was teaching not just one grade, but 6, 7, and 8. And I doused myself in so much lavender and a little bit of lemon, a little bit of orange too, but mostly
yeah,
lavender. That was the basis for everything.
everything,
Hmm.
everything. Well, it's a good one because lavender is antimicrobial, so it kills germs. It's not very expensive. Everybody should travel with lavender essential oil because you can use it in your bath, your skincare, in your nighttime serum, for everything, for itchy skin, for insect bite on your dog that's anxious when you're traveling.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's just
So
Yeah.
so many things.
what are your top 3 or 4 essential oils that you recommend for consistent everyday usage? And of course, why? Why do you
So
recommend them?
this is my bathroom oils. These are the ones that I just keep in the bathroom. And frankincense is a number one. I mix it and blend it in and use it every other day on my body, and lavender on the days in between, or orange or peace and calming. So I kind of do blends. So frankincense, it's very, very special because it helps balance your hormones, helps balance your mood, it helps your skin, it heals wounds. Um, and these are my experiences. I'm speaking from my
Right.
experiences and what I've used it
Yeah.
for. Everybody, may have a different experience because it's a scent, and we have emotions that are tied to our scent. So
Sure.
if you have something that happened and your like grandma that was mean to you wore frankincense all the time, and you correlate the scent with meanness, well, that's the shadow work that you're going to have to work through to get back to loving this scent because it's great. It's great. Um, the next one I'm going to say is orange. Orange is a mood lifter. It combats depression. It whitens your teeth when you put a dab of it on your toothpaste. It releases all these feel good endorphins. And you can use it mixed with frankincense, mixed with a lavender, and make a really nice perfume for your travel and your roller. I
So,
label mine. This my inspired blend.
you've also mentioned a couple of times that these will help lower the toxicity in your
Hmm.
body. So, can
Hmm.
you explain how that works? Like examples of how, and you've told us some, but how you
Yeah,
personally use them in a daily routine, like you just talked about teeth whitening.
absolutely.
And I guess you could
Yes.
probably use it in your laundry. And like you said,
Hmm.
in some cases, you can add them to your tea. Is that right?
Yes. So our skin is the biggest organ we have. And with knowing that, and coming from a place where I've worked around fragrances that were pretty strong, candles, if you guys have walked past a Bath and Body Works at the mall,
Yeah. Yeah.
or have just even been in there, if you live a low tox lifestyle and you go in there, you can't hardly shop in there
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
at that time, I was full on like fragrances in your home, candles with fragrances. And when I started making the shift, I started not feeling good when I would go into work and smell all of those fragrances
Uh-oh.
because you're smelling them. And when you think about like your metabolism and your thyroid and all these things, you're having to work in overdrive to detox your body. So if you're gaining weight, if you're feeling foggy, if you feel mental fatigue, if you feel like you can't get out of bed every morning, you could very well have a buildup of toxicity in your body from all these chemicals that you're inhaling every day, be it aerosols from your deodorant or your room spray, or maybe the perfume that you're using that says like it's made with fragrance. That's a chemical. It's not an essential oil. All of those things build up over time, and your metabolism is fighting really hard to get all of that out of your system. So when it gets bogged down and it gets weighed down with all of these toxins, you start gaining weight. You start feeling sluggish. You start having all these inflammation responses, right? Like you have breakouts, you have itchy spots, you can't think clearly, you have all of this mental fog. It's because of the toxicity in your system. And just making shifts from using essential oils on your skin with carrier oils, such as these that are natural. So this is rosehip oil. This one is an almond oil. A nut oil is really good for your skin, but also a fractionated coconut oil. A fractionated coconut oil is very hydrating. It's really, really good for your skin. If you have problem with breakout and your skin clogs easily, I would say an avocado oil would be really good to mix your oils with. But definitely dilute the oils because they're strong. When you think about a lavender essential oil, there's about like 1 pound of the plant and like 1 ounce. That's a lot of plant. So when you're walking through a lavender field, you're getting the aroma, but it's not as strong as it is in the oil form.
It's
So
not as
using the oil,
concentrated.
right? So when you mix it to use on your skin, make sure that you use the right. So if you use like a 10 milliliter, then you want to use probably 10 drops of essential oil mixed with your carrier oil.
My
Just so it doesn't
my
irritate.
my husband is also a teacher, and he comes home so stressed at times because he's teaching middle school,
Right.
middle school writing of all things. And so I would take the lavender oil and I would mix it with a good mineral oil, and I
Yes.
would do massages on him, and it was amazing how it just worked wonders for him.
Yeah, because you were boosting his immunity. Young
Mhm.
Living also has one called Thieves. I get it also in the Vitality,
I've
like
heard
this,
about thieves. It's supposed
to
to be
drink.
awesome.
So I read a story not long ago about a lady. She had a baby. Her baby was in the hospital with an autoimmune disease, and it could barely have any visitors. So a person gifted her some Thieves. She put it on her hands every day, made like a little witch hazel spritz, spritzed it on her clothes and stuff, and went to the hospital every day. And she didn't get sick. She didn't get the baby sick through the duration. And as a matter of fact, the baby started getting better faster.
Oh,
So
I'm
there's
not
a lot of really
surprised.
good stories out there. Yeah, if you guys just YouTube them and if you're curious and look them up about like the benefits of using essential oils in your day to day instead of like grabbing the hand sanitizer, which is
Mhm.
killing the good stuff too. And you don't want to kill the good stuff. You want
Right.
to keep the
Yeah.
good stuff, right? That's important. So just making
This,
small changes in my life like that, like giving up perfume, using essential oil blends like this. And then I even use low um, tops in everything, right down to my perfume. So when I don't blend, I use Wild Notes. Wild Notes is a perfume made with Young Living essential oils. So it's
Mm.
non-toxic. This one's Sweet Decadence, and it smells like vanilla, a little bit of almond. It's very, very nice for the
Beautiful
fall.
bottle.
It is, and I
Really
love the
pretty.
box, so I couldn't get rid of the box. I think the box was so cute. And then you can get a little sample for I think $30, $50 with the 10% off, get a little cheaper, but it's all the fragrances they have.
Yeah, that's the way to do it so that you can see how your body and your brain and your spirit is going to react to these.
There's a rugged wilderness made with lavender, which is very nice, and they're unisex, so everybody can use it. So there are options out there for people. You can make your own roller, um, and use perfumes and still smell good and not smell like a hippie. Just because we use essential oils these days doesn't mean we stink, and it doesn't mean that we smell like patchouli or any of those things,
Or cloves.
or clove. Although clove is really, really good to do a mouth rinse. It's what the dentists use.
Well, yeah, it is. I went
Mhm.
anytime I've had some major dental work, and I'm dealing with pain. He's packed my teeth with clove, and it smells so good.
You can do a coconut pool with the clove, and it really helps to reset.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
and it's
And
good for gingivitis.
and so what you can use these oils not just on adult humans, you can use
Right.
them on children as well as animals. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that there's more safety precautions
You
with
want to dilute
them,
it a lot
perhaps.
more. Dilution is the key when it comes to your kids and your animals because, they're very sensitive. Their skin's very sensitive. Animals like to lick on their
Yeah,
paws and their arms or, their tail. So putting it on their back, like you would if we take medication. So like kind of down their spine on their back. Lavender is great. It helps with so many things. Dogs that are anxious, scared of the thunderstorms, goes out in the woods a lot. It keeps like, the bug bites and the bugs off of them. So it's a really good one to use. It's the one that I personally use on my animals. As far as kids go, you're making a roller, you don't want to make it with a 10 drops. You want to do
Yeah.
like half that, 4 drops, you know. But Young Living has a whole line specifically for kids that comes diluted and with a filament roller. So you just pop the roller, stick it in their book bags, they're ready to go. There's like a kid's genius to help them with the performance at school. There's one for like tummy aches. They can rub it around their belly button. It helps to, keep them from feeling so icky if they get anxiety while they're at school or social anxiety. It's a really good one. There's one for sleep called Sleepy Time. It's made with lavender, but it's a lot more diluted. And they have fun diffusers too, like a little owl or a little puppy dog that you can put by their bed or on their nightstand somewhere. They can experience a whole room filled with the great sleepy time vibes that we like to experience,
yeah,
just on a
yeah.
more diluted level. Mhm.
My daughter
I've
used to
heard
get, sorry, my
that.
daughter used to get terrible migraines and headaches and stuff. So I taught her to use peppermint oil to rub a little bit of it on her temples. And
So,
when I get sinus headaches, I also put them a little bit up here and on my wrist, and it works every time. It is amazing.
there was a study done on peppermint oil, you guys, where it was done on athletes. And instead of using any kind of performance, they used peppermint oil. So they would put a drop of it in their mouth, they would take the little capsules and they would put the peppermint oil in, and their performance increased. It was like doing shots of espresso, but it was healthy. It was peppermint.
Wow.
Uh-huh. So when you think about that, you're like, wow. And then aspirin's made from wintergreen, things that kind of help with your blood regulation and the flow and the congelation. So there's an essential oil for everything. If we just take the time to not doomsday scroll and do research on things that are going to help us, then put the work in and the results will come.
Jennifer, what were
Well,
you going to say?
I was going to say, with anything that's like this, there's also the ones that you need to watch out for, the
Yes.
dangerous ones, especially I think for animals, from what
Mhm.
I don't have experience with that, but I have read there's several things that, people, adult people, for example, can, do all day long, but dogs can't be exposed to it at all.
Right. That is very true. Like dogs are like children. You have to watch hot oils, especially around your dogs. When I say that, it means that it's got heat to it. So like a ginger, the peppermints, the spearmints, the yanglings, like all of those, they can be a bit strong for a dog. So just making sure that if you're using them on yourself, you're not going to go rub them near your dog's snout. Just
Yeah.
using smart judgment whenever you're using them on yourself that is toxic for a dog, and just making sure that if you're using something like the highest potential. So I use this one in my meditations.
What is that?
It's really good. It's a blend. So this one comes pre-blended from Young Living. That way you don't have to blend it yourself, which is what I like. And it has an array, like 10 different essential oils mixed in, but it
Mm.
helps your connection with spirit to get you to your highest potential. So this one is super concentrated. Like I wouldn't put this on and go love on Nugget. I wouldn't do that. I would probably diffuse it in my meditation room and take a couple of drops of it and inhale it before I start my meditation. It's even one that's kind of strong that I don't even use on my clients unless they're real avid essential oil users. It's something you work up to. It's not something you start out with your three oils and go, okay, I'm going to use the highest potential today. It could be a little overpowering for you until you get used to using them.
So you
So,
just said that you use them in like your ritual space.
Mhm.
Do these different oils have different frequencies to them?
All oils have different frequencies. So the ones that I brought up today, you guys, I have to do notes for myself because I get off track. But frankincense has a resonance of 147 MHz. So that brings deep spiritual grounding and cellular healing. So if you're using that oil with, say, tuning fork therapy,
Yeah.
and you're using the 147 along with the frankincense, they're going to have that deep grounding. They're going to lead with their sacral chakra, their root chakra, feeling really, really good, super grounding. So for me, I get real flighty. I always have one foot in spirit and one on the ground. So the frankincense brings me into balance and into peace. It lowers your heart rate and just gives you a good sense that you can connect with spirit. You have a calmness, you have a presence about you, and you're in the moment genuinely when you're with that, frequency. A lavender is at 118, and it's for emotional balance, relaxation, and intuitive clarity. So when you're diffusing these, you're still getting these frequencies from the diffusing because you're putting that essence into your space and using it on your body. You're feeding your body that frequency. And then when you combine it with the sound therapy or other healing modalities, it's going to make it that much more special and that much more healing. Um, Lemon is a 95 and orange is an 85 to 95. So lemon is used for uplifting, for cleansing, mental clarity. And then orange is for the joyful, playful, like you're working on your inner
yeah.
child.
Hmm.
It's opening your heart. And then when you add the frequency to that, you're working on all your chakras. And then if you've ever heard of like rainbow therapy, where you're using essential oils in all the different colors, when you do that, you're aligning with your frequency, you're aligning your chakras, you're aligning your energy, you're bringing yourself into balance, you're coming out of dis-ease into ease, because when you're in dis-ease, you have inflammation, and inflammation turns into disease. So you're out of this, you know what I mean? You're out of balance.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
So practicing that on a daily basis and using it just in small steps every day. Even if you go, okay, I'm going to start with lemon because I like the way it smells. Well, you can put it in your laundry. You can use it on dryer balls. You can use it to clean with vinegar. Um, you can use it for so many things,
So
right?
the frequency numbers that you were reading off, is it the higher the number, the more energetic you'll feel, and the lower the number, the more relaxed you'll feel? Is that how it works, or do I have it backwards?
You have it backwards. So the lower the number, so the 85 to 96, that's supporting your physical benefits on the joyful, playful heart level. When you go up to the 147, you're getting to your top chakras where you're dealing with the spiritual aspect and your root chakra. So frankincense grounds you from the root and it opens you from the crown. So it's bringing all of that into balance. And it's one of the only oils that goes past the blood-brain barrier, which means it gets to your neurological system to balance and stabilize you.
So for somebody
Mhm.
who is just starting out with this
Mhm.
and they just wanted to try one at a time, what would you suggest, Angie, they start with? Which fragrance?
So frankincense can be a little pricey. Not everybody can afford to incorporate that in their everyday life. Not everybody can afford to get blends, you know? So making it so that it's more like affordable and reasonable. The three that I named off, frankincense, lavender, and a citrus being orange or lemon. Orange or lemon are very affordable. 12, $13 a bottle with Young Living. The next one I'm going to say would be clove if you're on a budget. Clove is really good because it kills bacteria, much like the lavender. You can use it in your mouth to cleanse for gingivitis, any kind of, blisters. Going into the winter season, people get like the fever blisters, right? So mixing that with a carrier oil and putting a little bit on your lip if you get those through the season, and being able to diffuse that for the antibacterial, or even ingesting it by putting a drop in your tea. It's really, really good to boost your immunity. And it has
Mhm.
tons of antioxidants in it. So it's
Mhm.
probably in its essential oil form, the highest form of antioxidants that you can intake. So I'm
Oh,
going to say if you're on a budget, clove instead of lavender. If you love lavender, I'm going to say please splurge for the lavender. It's my number one go-to for relaxation, for travel, for just smelling good, and adding it to everything from my laundry to my bath. Even
You
my
t-
shampoos have lavender.
you talked about a carrier oil. So
Mhm.
can you suggest what we could use for that?
Yes.
Is a mineral oil okay to use as a
A,
carrier oil?
a mineral oil is good to use as a carrier oil. It's not something that you would want to use every single day. An everyday oil, I would say, would be your like nut oil, like the almond oil or the jojoba oil or the avocado oil, coconut oil.
Okay.
Those would be the ones you want to use every day. And you could even do a combination of those together if you need a little extra and you have really dry skin. So it helps, especially if you're menopausal. If you're menopausal
Mhm.
and your skin gets really thirsty, it's good to have the extra hydration. You need the nut oils and you need a rotation of different ones because your skin gets used to it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like anything, you get
Hmm.
used to it. So
yeah.
in a rotation, it's really good.
And how long
Next,
do you have to do it consistently to see a result? Because, we're Westerners. We want everything.
instantaneous. I'm going to say you're going to get benefits the first time you use it, whether you realize it or not, but persistence and commitment and not giving up and doing it regularly like you would anything else.
Right.
We don't forget to brush our teeth. Just put the orange on your sink or near your toothpaste, and you're going to automatically, after 3 weeks, start putting it on every day, once a day to have whiter teeth and fresher breath. Or you're going to start doing that clove oil every, once a week with the coconut oil in your mouth for a healthy mouth. So just making small changes every day and being consistent.
Probably
Mm.
making
And
sure.
practicing self-love is the biggest
Right.
thing.
That's really important. And
Yeah.
making sure that your carrier oil doesn't have petroleum in it, because I think a lot of
I'll
businesses
send you
actually
guys
add
some links
petroleum.
to put underneath my stuff on your website. So that way they can just click it. It'll take them right to the oil that I purchased to do my mixtures with and make it super easy for them. I order it from Amazon. It's the same thing that I was ordering from other people. And sometimes they get the prime deals and you get it even cheaper, right? So it's not super expensive and you can make your own lotions out of it. You don't have to go and buy expensive lotion, buy store brand lotions. Just use the oil, mix it with your essential oils every day, and your skin's going to look incredible.
That's great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even wear like makeup anymore.
Wow. And you look so fabulous.
Mhm. I do get my eyelashes done, not gonna lie.
Yeah. And we're not going to talk about the toxicity that's in that glue. We'll talk about that another
We'll talk
time.
about that another time. Hey, it's small steps. It's real life
Exactly.
here.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
a give and take.
Uh-huh.
We're
Right.
talking about incorporating where you can, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one I'm going to say, if you're on a budget, is going to be peppermint because you can use it when you go to the gym to give you that extra boost of energy. Just take a drop of it, put it on the roof of your mouth, or enjoy it in a capsule, make a roller out of it. You could do one that has peppermint and a little lemongrass. It's really invigorating for your yoga practice, for even your spin class. So just small steps, you guys. Putting it on your feet at night before you go to bed, or your kids' feet at night. Just taking, mixing it with a little bit of coconut oil and rubbing it on there, some lavender to boost your immunity, the thieves to boost your immunity. If you're a school teacher right now, everybody should have thieves going in their diffuser.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting a drop of the vitality thieves in your water, but don't put it in plastic. Essential oils eat through plastic. So use like your Stanley cup or a glass
Yeah.
container. That's really important. But I have a whole bunch of vitalities that I do, you guys. So I add them to my smoothies. I add them to water. I don't do the shake-ins anymore. Like orange. Orange is so good for your gut. It's so good for your immunity. There's peppermint. So again, the invigoration, adding it to your tea, boost your memory.
Headaches and nausea too.
There's even a lavender vitality that you can drink, and it helps to boost your immunity. It helps keep you centered and balanced. It's really, really good. And mixing it with the peppermint combats and helps with migraine. You can even use the vitality on your pulse points and stuff like you would the essential oil. It's the same thing. It's just these are for ingestion.
How
So
do you know, like you talked about before, the to you, the obvious difference in quality of what you started out with and until now, what you evolved to?
mhm.
How does somebody who is not well versed in this know what they're buying? How can,
Right.
because they try to trick you,
They do. And
the
there's
companies.
so many out there. TJ Maxx, for example, if you're at TJ Maxx Fashionista and you like to bargain shop, you can always go in there and find their little section of diffusers, which they have pretty good selection of diffusers if you're on a budget. They do. But when it comes to the essential oils, they all say 100%. Really, the FDA, to say you're 100%, you just have to have 10% of the oil in there. So when I found that out, I started doing research and I called Marissa, Dr. Marissa. I was like, Marissa, do these oils have just 10% of the oil? She's like, no, no, Angie. They're like pure. She's like, Young Living has like 30 acres of its own lavender farms and other farms where in distilleries, so they distill their own oils. It goes through a 3-point inspection. It's organic. I was like, okay. And so I compared my lavender, which was an AR brand in those big bottles with a dropper that you could find everywhere. And I did one on one wrist, the Young Living on the other wrist. And the smell, the consistency, and how fast it dissipated. So if it goes away really, really fast, it's got a lot of synthetics in it. If it makes you feel irritated, even after mixing it with a carrier oil, it's probably got a lot of synthetic stuff in it. If you don't feel good, if you feel nauseous after using it, probably got a lot of synthetic stuff in there. But I love the seed to seal quality of Young Living essential oils, being organic, knowing it's something I'm putting on my skin. And yes, I get eyelashes, but overall, 90% of what I use, I try to be better every day and take better care of myself every day. Practice the self love every day because it's so easy to practice self hate, right? It's so easy to look in the mirror and go, oh, my hair, my eyes, my this, my that. Well, just making that small shift and using the oils has helped me. And if it can help me and help settle my energy the way it has, along with, the energy healing, it can work for anybody. You just got to be committed and practice self love at the end of the day.
What's the expiration date on these oils?
So, Young Living essential oils, they have the longest shelf life because they are organic and they are pure. I have a chamomile oil that is so concentrated here. I've had her for 3 years. and she still smells like she did the day that I got her. And when I say she's so concentrated, I have to take the top off. It's kind of blue, as you can see, because that's how you know it's very pure. Another chamomile oil you would get wouldn't have this color to it. It would be clear because it would be full of synthetics. But I pop this off and I get a little um, dropper and I take just a smidge, like half of a drop, and I mix it with something else. Because this one, when I tell you it is strong, you'll be like, woo, I don't even like chamomile anymore. Like somebody that's very sensitive and thinking they had been really using chamomile oil all these years and started using this, you wouldn't want to put a whole drop of this in your skincare. It would be so overpowering on your face, on your skin, and your oil factory would be in overdrive. So, like a dab will do you literally of oils that are this concentrated. And
I,
that's the difference.
I had some oils that
Mhm.
I hadn't used for a while,
Mhm.
and they were just sitting there in my drawer because I guess it's probably good to keep them in a cooler,
Dark.
dark
Yeah.
place. And I cut them out, and I was so excited to use them and put them on my dogs. They smelled like kerosene,
Oh, wow.
and I thought, "Uh-oh, this isn't good."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, that was what I was putting on my body."
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you guys want to order some Young Living essential oils, and you have any questions, you can reach me by my email. You go to my website. I have a little blog about essential oils and their frequencies. And if you click the picture, it takes you to my Young Living website. If you don't want to sign up to sell them, that's okay. You could do like I did and just use it in your day to day and start small. Start with the inexpensive
Right,
ones
right.
and work up as you get more familiar and you know how to use them. Or you can go all in and get a whole kit. There's starter kits that come with a diffuser, that come with, the frankincense, the panaway, the vitalities to try for the first time, the lavender, all your basics that you want to start with. There's starter kits and there's many different starter kits that can fit you in your life right where you are right now.
And they
There's
last quite a while too.
They last a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. And you say, oh, well, I don't, that's it's kind of expensive, but it's your health. You would spend it on something else that wasn't healthy. So
Right.
when you think about it in terms like that and weigh it out and think, well, how can I be a little bit healthier tomorrow? What can I do tomorrow or start today to be a little bit healthier
Right.
and incorporate these things into my life to feel better for me so that I can show up for everyone else and be the best version of yourself each
Mhm.
day. Mm. Oils help me do that, so I help the masses do that and
Right.
just give a chance, right? Modern medicine came from essential oils. Give it a chance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I usually ask people at the end of the show if you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice, but it sounds like you've already answered that. That was
I'm
great
gonna
advice.
say,
Go ahead and
you
ask her
know,
anyway, because you know Angie.
Yeah. So, all right.
for me, I'm gonna say, you know, if you say that you don't
Wait,
like something,
what was the question? So for viewers that are seeing us for the first time, ask the question.
If you could leave our listeners with a piece of advice for their health or alignment or
Mhm.
spiritual enhancement with using the essential oils, what would it be?
It's so easy to practice self-hate, practice self-love every day and make small changes, even if it's just one thing a day, make a small change to get into a low tox lifestyle and a more positive mind space. And even if you think that the essential oils are not working, don't give up. Don't go to the negative side of, oh, it's not working for me today. I'm throwing them all away. I'm posting it on Facebook Marketplace. Come and get my oils. You know what I mean? Like give them a chance.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen that. I've seen that so many
yeah,
times.
I'm
I'm like,
sure.
wow, what's happening?
Hmm.
But give it a chance. Don't just give up. Be kind to yourself. Even when you wake up one day and you look at yourself and you want to be like, oh, look at me today. I look so terrible. It's so easy to say that to yourself. But just say, I love you where you are today. And because I love you, I'm going to use this orange essential oil mixed with vanilla to lift my vibrations and meet me where I am today. I will feel better as soon as I use this.
Well, those those are beautiful words to live by, Angie. Thank you for that
With my
because
wit of comedy added.
that's
And for your doggy, your kitty too.
right,
Yes.
right,
Yes,
right.
because I do Reiki on animals too.
Yeah.
And I always put a little bit of essential oil on my hands and rub it down their spine with a little coconut oil initially. And they respond nicely to it. They all love it. Hmm.
And horses like it too.
Yes,
I was going to
yes.
ask, it's funny because I was going to ask about horses. Like, how would
Yeah,
they react to something like that? And I guess they would be
Horses
also
love Reiki.
strongly.
a good test. Yeah. Yeah.
And they respond to red light therapy very well. They respond to essential oil therapy. There is holistic vets out there that travel around and go to farms and treat animals like they did years ago,
Yeah,
holistically. Hmm.
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's
I think we need
beautiful.
more of that.
We
That's,
do.
getting back to the basics.
Right.
I love the
Yeah.
concept, and essential oils is definitely in that mix.
If you do a 30-day challenge and you take and get a box and go through your house and take all the toxic cleaners out, all your lovely body sprays out with the perfumes and the fragrances and all of the aerosol deodorants, and you stick it in your garage or in a closet and you use a healthy version for 30 days. And then you go to get your box after the 30 days is up and you go to try to use some of that. I guarantee you that you will start getting mental fog again, that you won't feel good. You'll be like, how was I using this? What's happening right now? Who was I 30 days ago? You
Right.
will be so surprised at the difference in how you feel because just think about it. Our organs, our skin's the biggest organ. So we're absorbing all of that, whether we're diffusing it, spraying it, drinking it. Coca-Cola has essential oils in it. It's part of the synthetic taste that it has, but all the sugar in that is not good for you. So
Mhm.
if you just drink like some tea or some water and add some essential oil to it, you're gonna feel so good, y'all. You're gonna feel
And
good.
dryer sheets.
And yes,
I remember when I got off the dryer sheets.
yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
So and even
They're
the laundry detergent. So my friend Marissa, her dad was diagnosed with cancer last year, and he kept getting really itchy skin, and they were using like I think Tide Pods or something. So she got him an unscented, all natural from Young Living washing detergent, and started using essential oils on the wool dryer balls in the
yeah,
dryer. His skin stopped itching
Yeah.
within a matter of like 4 days.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I need you to come to my house, Angie, and just like go over my daily routine and tell me what we have to get rid of. It's so funny because I know in there are certain countries, and I was watching a YouTube thing from India, and these women were using and understand no judgment, right? I mean, it's their personal culture, but they were using kerosene to mop the floors with and petroleum to uh, mixing a spray to put on their curtains in order to get rid of cockroaches and ants and scorpions and snakes and silverfish. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. And it's so funny because you wouldn't think of, the Hindi culture,
Mhm.
and they probably don't say, they don't run around and probably tell people that it's safe to use petrol or gasoline but you think when you think of the Hindi culture, you think of incense and you think of essential oils
Yeah,
Ayurveda.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
yoga and the importance of cleansing the body.
Yes.
Um,
I heard a
well,
phrase the other day. So a doctor was talking about not only can you have leaky gut, but you can have leaky skin. And I was like, leaky skin? What?
really,
So apparently, our body absorbs everything through the skin that it comes in contact with. So if you're using a lot of chemicals and you have like a really dry, crepey skin, then it traps bacteria and stuff that go into your skin, extra like synthetic compounds that are in these fragrances that we're using that are synthetic, that are causing like metal buildup like in your body and causes like I guess extra sweat, the extra like oiliness that you see on some people that they just can't get rid of the oiliness. Um, it's gross. You guys look it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh,
Mhm.
Angie, once again, we just love having you. You're such a joy and you're so effervescent and you're a wealth of information.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to invite everybody to go to Angie's website, which I will also put down in the description.
Thank you.
But Angie, thank you so much for coming. And I also want to thank everybody who's tuned in to Souls on Tap. And remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, please, please, please like and subscribe. We're trying really hard to grow our channel. And be sure and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss a drop of wisdom. We'd love for you to share in the comment section any thoughts or questions that you might have and add any type of healing modalities you'd like us to showcase. Because remember, we are here for you. Jennifer, did you want to say something about our directory?
I did. So every person, every guest that has been on our show is on our directory, which is on our webpage that you can find at www.soulsontap.com. You
I have
included.
that. Thank you. I have that up
Yeah,
hand
you're there.
emoji going.
You're
Um,
there.
so I just wanted to say one more thing. You know, we are all human and we're kind of like a bouquet of flowers, right? We're all different. We all respond to different nutrients, different frequencies, different healing modalities. So I love that you ladies are bringing different aspects to the masses and bringing understanding because what doesn't work for one flower will work for the other flower. Just keep trying till you find that thing that works for you, right? Um,
Yeah.
and you're going to hit on it
Yeah.
eventually. Just
Yeah.
don't give up.
Well, thank
Thank you,
you so much
Angie.
for saying that. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to let people know that there are thousands of different naturopathic and holistic modalities out there that they can use in conjunction with traditional medicine.
Yes.
If some of you are on a high regimen of medications and stuff, you of course always want to check with your doctor before
Yes.
you go full on with some of this stuff and make sure that nothing is canceling out the other.
Right.
So,
Because this is an enhancement to your day to day.
right,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, until next time, stay curious and stay connected. And we'll see all of you on Souls on Tap.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.